I was born and raised in the Philippines. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. My dad was an alcoholic, and he was very detached, not emotionally attached. He was not involved during my growing up years. My mom was a workaholic, and I experienced a lot of rejection from her. She played favorite between me and my other brother, who was quite good looking, and so I grew up feeling that I'm ugly and unacceptable, unlovable. So I didn't experience any nurturing from both my parents, and that started the deep void in my heart that I'm different, and grew up very needy, not affirmed, not loved, not nurtured. So I tried to fill that void with looking for somebody. I started with older men to look for a fatherly love, which turned into sexual relationship. I was sexually molested by a male cousin when I was 6, and it went on through my teenage years with different other cousins, and nobody knew. I never told anybody. It was just me who knows it, kept it to myself, and that was the first thing I told my wife, that I was sexually molested by a male cousin, and I eventually divulged pieces by pieces what my struggle was, and then eventually I told her that I have this same-sex attraction. The turmoil going on in my life, and the void, and being new here in the States, being newly married, having a son, everything was like fast-paced for me, and it was a hard adjustment with this new life. And while I was in New York, I met a Christian. I grew up as Catholic in the Philippines, but my sister got saved and keep pressing and pushing me to embrace her newfound faith, but I always shoved her off, and that was not for me. And it was in New York that I had this co-worker. She's a nurse too, and she introduced me to Christ by inviting me to go to a camp meeting in Ashland, Virginia, and there the Lord met me on my lowest point in my life. The same night before we attended the service, me and my wife had a very heated argument, and it was very heated. That was so heavy. I felt the heaviness in my chest, in my shoulder, and that's the time I cried to the Lord, and I told Him that I couldn't bear this anymore, and could you lift this up from me? And from that moment on, that time in that room, I felt the heaviness lifted from my shoulder, and then we decided that we go to that service last night, and there I cried my heart out, and I know that God has forgiven me and has accepted me. The journey is not that easy, but with God's help and His putting people in my life to walk alongside me, and the ministry that I got support from helped me to believe He would clear the path for me, and I can make it, and I will make it because of Him.
It's been in the foxhole and through this battle with homosexuality that I have come to know Jesus Christ and to trust Him in a way that I never would have had I not gone through this struggle. That's why I don't despise what I've been through.
Have you ever noticed how people are drawn to stained glass? There's something about the way all those pieces fit together to make an object of beauty. It's the same way with our broken lives. People identify with brokenness because we've all experienced it. Welcome to Hope for Wholeness. Hi, I'm June Hunt, and this lesson is From Brokenness to Beauty.